Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel. This is a daily energy check-in. We're going to take a look at what's happening with DF energy, DM energy, and how they're feeling towards each other at this time. We'll jump right in. This is going to be a quick check-in, and we'll start with Oracle deck actually. Today it's the Whispers of the Ocean, so let's see what we have for Divine Feminines first of all. Tomorrow is going to be the 9/9 portal, and as we're diving into the fall, all this and up till end of the year, all these portals are going to be extra powerful and with their specific focuses and accents for the twins. So I'll speak more about it in tomorrow's reading, and I'll definitely do a more detailed, more extended version of it, of the spread itself, to show you what are the meanings behind it and how can you make use of this portal for your personal growth, your healing, getting clarity on where you are, and getting closer to union eventually. So feminines, you have number 34, the gift of neutrality. Balance is at work in your life. Yin and yang are opposites in energy, but reside side by side to create the gift of neutrality. So do not ignore either the masculine or the feminine side of yours, and make sure they're in balance. This time is going to be super important for bringing in the happiness, the abundance, and whatever you've been manifesting for yourself. And by the way, we are approaching another new moon, so I would say this is a good time over this weekend, since we're practically at the weekend point of the week. It's good to review what is it that you've manifested, how much of it has come back to you, and what could be the possible blocks if it hasn't, right? Like maybe there is something, at least something little that you can do this weekend to bring it along or to move it forward if it's not had as much progress as you hope for. Okay, let's see what we have for the masculines. Number 2, dive into new depths. There is a deeper meaning to what is happening. You might be looking at this from the surface and missing what is really going on. Take a moment to pause and breathe. Allow yourself to dive deeper into what it is you're feeling about your current situation. So current situation is a big lesson. And while you're trying to kind of solve it on the surface level, or you're getting emotional about, how the interaction has been going or where you are right now, you're missing the bigger picture. So it's really important to dive deeper into it, or to meditate around it, or to ask your guides to show you what is the real meaning, what is the depth, so that while you are focusing on like the most obvious things, you don't miss what is really trying to teach you, so you can close out this cycle and not have to repeat it again. Okay, for tarot today, I have my Souls on Fire deck and the holographic deck, so we'll get, for each of the placements, we'll get a card from each of the decks. So let's see what is the energy for feminines, for masculines, and how are they feeling towards each other at this time. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Wands. Wow. Yeah, definitely I feel like this last cycle has brought about a lot of burdens that you feel like there's been, like, if you haven't naturally dropped them, at this point you may be feeling like enough is enough. I don't want to be carrying all this burden with me all the time. Like, I have to stop and figure out how to get rid of this, how not to repeat it, or how to like make sure this situation or this person is out of my life and I don't have to worry about that. Maybe you felt like you had certain responsibility to the person, to the situation, but this is the time when the universe is really pressing it on you that it's just draining you. It's not doing anyone any good. Okay, clarifications, and let's go. So for feminines, we have Knight of Cups clarified by Queen of Swords. Yeah, so there is a desire to communicate. It could be to DM, it can be to other people about something, to communicate in a loving way about some truth, right? So the truth needs to be spoken at this time, and it's actually also connected to this energy I was just seeing at the bottom of the deck, where it's like, oh, enough is enough, I can't take it anymore. You know, whether it's just something that wasn't spoken out loud or it's something that where you know it's not been truthful, right? Or you've been given into the situation, but it's not been fair to either one side or both sides in this party, whoever you are communicating to, because the knights are the messengers, the communicators, right? So there's a desire to speak the truth with love, with kindness, with consideration of the both parties. For masculines, we have the Fool with 2 of Wands. So the masculines are taking a fresh look at the choices in front of them, at the direction they want to take. They try not to be too subjective and not to judge based on just previous experience, or not to judge based on emotional state. And maybe they're not in the best shape right now because, again, 10 of Wands, it's been tough, it's been hard, you know? So they're like, okay, I'm trying to be objective here and to trust, right? To trust my heart, trust the universe, right? Where is it taking me? So again, ask for a sign or look out for a sign if you're not sure. But the Fool is a really good energy to approach the new beginning or the new direction, so good for you masculines. How are the feminines feeling towards the masculines? Knight of Swords with 9 of Wands. Another Knight. So again, communication of truth. It's more like a communication of truth about certain fears. And that could be also on either of the sides or on both of them. Usually it is on both because we are mirroring each other's energy, right? So feminines feel like there needs to be a conversation. And it's not just that they want to talk, you know, they want this to be an exchange of information. That's the important part. They want the masculines to come clean and talk about what their behavior has been about, the good and the bad, you know, what fears do they have. And they want to share something to get something off their chest, right? And talk about how can we make it work. Because, you know, we're very close and these fears are not that, they're not the deal breakers, right? It's just something that kind of gets in the way so things cannot flow. So let's get them flowing. Let's help ourselves. Let's help each other. Masculines, wow. The Star and 10 of Cups. There's so much love here and so much recognition of the depth of this connection, of the importance of this connection, right? The Star is like the goal, like the meaning of life, if you wish, to a certain degree, right? This is like you're that shining star, that North Star that is guiding them, that keeps them happy and joyful, so they naturally feel like, even if their brain is telling them something's up here, it doesn't feel right, or this is too good to be true, they can't help it, they just follow it, you know, their brain cannot override this path. They still end up following it and moving closer and doing better and wanting this more than ever. Even if they have a detour, it only makes them get back on this journey and want this connection more. That's the feeling they have right now. Okay, this was a quick check, so I think I'm gonna end it here for now. But lots of things are happening, and I'm glad that this cycle is finally being over, because actually underneath this card we have the Empress. And we spoke about this just a couple of days ago, about willingness to create something productive in the connection, right? Like enough of the burden, enough of spending so much energy on figuring out the routine, or how to deal with people who just don't get it, or whatever it could be, right? Or hustle around finances. Right, it's like, let's talk about what can we create together, because both twins, no matter where they are in the journey, they realize that this is the kind of thing to check against. This is like that centerpiece, you know, that we're like, everything else kind of moves around it. So let's talk about the big topics. Let's talk about what's really important. And the Venus retrograde being over actually opens up doors for that. Empress is guided by, supervised by the Venus, by planet Venus, right? So that's where we are opening up doors to, like, okay, let's build this relationship. Let's expand it. Let's see what we can do and not just be upset about what we cannot do right now. Okay, I hope this has been useful for you guys. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Watch out for that 9/9 reading.